Welcome to Studying Red Flags, our biggest studying mistakes and how to avoid them. So if you really want to level up your studying game, come along. Anyway, if you're new here, and since it's been a while since I've last posted, my name is Emily and I'm a second year dental student in Australia. And basically, with having shitty time management skills and having a lot of things to do, I think I've refined my study techniques pretty well so that I can get a lot done without doing a lot of things, and I know what works and what doesn't work for me. So basically in this video, I'm going to be going through studying red flags, or basically studying mistakes, and also how to avoid them, techniques and strategies, or my green flags. A disclaimer, like, do what works for you, but most of the things I'm going to be talking about are like evidence-based and backed up by studies, so it is like proven to be more efficient. But if it like works for you, if you're like getting A's, like, of course, like, continue on the path you are. So my first red flag is passive studying. So this includes things such as rewriting notes, down word for word verbatim, highlighting textbooks, summarizing, rereading your notes, the slides, the textbook. I know why we do this. It's like comfortable, it's easy, you just read it in and like you understand it when you write things down. In the past, I would take lecture notes and then I would like summarize, but this is memorizing things by rote. So what is my green flag or alternative? Definitely flashcards. I've talked about flashcards a lot. I feel like Anki especially, mainly because I find it really effective to memorizing things. Usually how I would do this is look at the lecture slide and then paste like 1 or 2 sentences into a flashcard. And I just keep on repeating this like the day of, and then a few days later, and then a week later. Okay, so my second red flag is not taking enough breaks. And next thing you know, 30 minutes have passed by and you've been on your phone for way too long, mainly because you didn't take enough breaks, and when you take a break, you need the longest amount of time to refresh yourself. That's why taking enough breaks during your study sessions is so crucial to studying in a productive manner. You might go on your phone for 2 hours after studying for maybe 2 hours because it just seemed so long. So what do I recommend to combat this? I'm not a huge fan of the Pomodoro method, mainly because it feels really constricting. Like, you're only allowed 25 minutes to study, then you have to take a 5-minute break. I prefer like the flow study method. Basically, you study for however long you want until you break a flow. So when you feel like I'm no longer motivated, sometimes for me that's like an hour, 45 minutes. It really depends on you. And then I would take a break for like 5-10 minutes, depending however long, and then I'd continue that. Therefore, I'm not like constricted by the Pomodoro method. Plus, I always just find it really annoying when the timer is like beeping at me, like, ugh, so uncomfortable. Okay, similarly, following not taking enough breaks is multitasking. I've of course done this before. I used to do this a lot in the past. So for example, trying to watch Netflix or like a video and also trying to study, your head's going like back and forth trying to watch one thing while also another thing's going on. You literally work at 50% efficiency because you're trying to pay attention to what's going on in like the TV show, and then you're also trying to do your work. So if you want to try to combat this, you can study for an hour and then take like a 10-minute break and watch your TV show. So my next red flag is around to-do lists and time management. Basically, not breaking your tasks down into specific goals or like things you have to do. In summary, I would usually write down a task, like write essay, and I would look at that task and be like, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do, it's just one giant task, and it's like so overwhelming for me. I just don't end up doing it, and that's why I keep on procrastinating it. But instead, I like breaking things down into specific reachable goals, you could say, and things that I can do like one by one. For example, first could be research topic, plan outline, research journal articles, things like that, so you don't feel overwhelmed by one giant task. And that way, I'm not like, damn, I can't do all of that at once. I can do individual tasks, and plus You get that satisfying check mark when you have like more tasks. My next red flag is not going through past papers early enough, because I used to want to save myself, as in I didn't want to do the practice tests early on because I thought I could do them right before the real exam and then I could do like all these mock exams, but then it ended up being a really bad idea because I'd have all these questions to do, and by going through the past exams early on, you get to see the styles of questions and like the types of questions they're gonna ask, so you can cater your study needs to the types of questions that are gonna be asked on the exam, so you don't have to like waste time studying useless things. You can maybe save one exam to like do right before, just to like give yourself a mock test, but definitely go through those early, get it over with. Next is finding the allocated study spot that actually works for you. So earlier this year, I was getting really distracted studying in my room, mainly because I would be like, oh, I need to do the dishes, oh, I need to get a snack, just like a bunch of different tasks, and eventually, like, once it took me 5 hours to watch like an hour lecture because I got up to do a million different things. I remember that very clearly. I realized I've had enough of this. I like need to find a better study space. So eventually I discovered the library, and the library has been like life-changing for me in so many different ways, like mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally too. But I found when I went to the library, I was like so much more productive, and I also think I was productive at the library because I had a nice study buddy group, but also I find that when you're in the library, like people watching you, it makes you want to be productive. I need the external validation of other people to study to motivate me. You don't want to go on your phone because you'll feel bad you're not being productive in the library, even though nobody actually cares what you do. Like, just inside, it's like a mental thing. Like, I can't go and procrastinate in the library because I'm supposed to be productive there. But I noticed that the library isn't for everyone. Some people may prefer like a quiet zone. That's why it's always good. Change up your study space, find what works for you and where you can be most productive. Next is listening to what other people say you should listen to. Now, what this basically means is like, some people are like, you should study in absolute silence, you should study with classical music, concentration music, lofi music, music with words, don't listen to music with words, all of that. Honestly, scrap everything of that and listen to what you want to listen to, because I find that actually listening to music with words helps me study a lot. And although it's like scientifically proven that you should actually study in silence, I find I can't do that anymore because I just get so bored, and like the auditory stimulus just like, it really like pumps me up and like gets me like really excited to study. I don't know why. And when I study with like pop music, I just feel so motivated. It's really weird. But you know, if lofi music works for you, if classical music works for you, do that. And my last tip is watching things on double speed is a double-edged sword, and do it at your own risk. So I used to like always say, oh, 2x speed, the best thing to watch. Don't even attend your lectures and then watch it the next day at double the speed. I find it really effective if you want to pause your lecture, go back and like pause things, absorb it, search it up, like understand what's going on. You can watch it in double the speed and get over your lectures in half the time. And yeah, that can definitely work. It worked for me a lot last year. However, I noticed this year I only can attend live lectures because if I watch it the next day, a 1-hour lecture will literally take me 3 hours to watch because I end up just going up and doing so many different things and pausing just so many times. That's why I have sworn it on myself for like the next semesters just to attend lectures live. It makes things so much easier, more efficient, and I'm not sitting there like rewatching it the next day, which can definitely be a lot more work for me. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me on this video. I hope you learned some new red flags to avoid and new study strategies. Anyway, if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up because this is like my first study-focused video, and I'm not sure if I should make more. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye-bye.